Hello, Year 4. This is Tuesday's maths lesson. So, as always, we have a calculation starter, but today I thought I'd give you three different sort of calculation questions. So, you've got a bit of addition, a bit of subtraction, you've got a number sequence. So give them a go, and we'll come back together in a minute and we can go through the answers. So, you can pause your video now to give it a go. Okay, welcome back. So, first of all, in addition, we have got our equal sign on the other end. Normally we see it at this end of our calculation, but I'll pop it at the other end today. Still going to equal the same answer. We've just shifted it about a bit. So I got 2,563, add 2,578. And you should have used column addition to help you solve the answer to make sure your answer is accurate. So, well done if you've got 5,141. Okay, next question. 6,700, let's start that again. 6,782 add 263 equals 7,018. Smashing job if you got those two correct. So going over to our subtraction box. Again, I have moved the answer to the front of the question. Doesn't make much difference where it is. But the first question is 5,890, take away 452, and you should have 5,438. Again, column subtraction would be the most efficient method to ensure that you get an accurate answer. And then you've got 9,833, take away 2,267, which equals 7,566. Okay, so down to the bottom then, number sequences. Now to help us solve this, it's good to look at two numbers that are next to each other and find out the difference. So looking at the top number sequence, I've got 25 and 50. Now I know the difference between 25 and 50 is 25. So my number line, number sequence, must be going up in 25s. So I'm going to try and add, so 50 add 25 would be 75. And then you've got 100. Then you'll add 25 to 100, be 125. And then got 150, 175, and then we'll be up to 200. So well done if you've got those correct. Next one, got 375. Again, I'm going to look at two numbers that are close together that can tell me what's the difference between that number. So if I look at 275 and 250, well, I know that is 25 difference. So this number line, if you noticed it already, it is going backwards. So I need to work backwards. I've got 375, it'd be 350. Then it would be 300. And then my last one will be 200. Massive well done if you've got all of those correct. Now on to today's lesson. So, let's move me into the corner. Today we are still doing fractions and we are looking at tenths. So basically, what is a tenth? On my screen, you will see a question that says, if the frame represents one whole, what does each box represent? So as a whole, this whole frame equals one whole. You can imagine it being your chocolate. I want to know how much does one box represent, or one piece of chocolate. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to count how many there are. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to just make things a little bit easier, I'm just going to quickly shade that in. So there are 10 squares there, and I've shaded in 1. So that must be 1 tenth. I wonder if you can shout out what this one be. If I've shaded in row 1, how many tenths would that be? Quickly write it down, pause the video, or shout it out. Ooh, well done. If you got 4 tenths. So it's 4 out of the 10 had been shaded. Okay. So, let's move me down here. Okay, so on this page we are going to identify what fractions of each shape is shaded. I have an example one over here where my cursor is. Again, like on the other page, we shade them in. I got 6 tenths and I've written 6 tenths in words. So I want you to pause the video, have a go at these next 3 shapes, tell me what fraction is shaded, and I want you to write it in words for me. Okay, pause the video now. Okay, welcome back. So let's do this one. Now, I'm just going to count each individual segment of this, shall we say, cake, to see what my denominator will be. So I'm just going to quickly count them. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my denominator is going to be 10. Tenths we're thinking about today, aren't we? And then my numerator would be how much is shaded. And I can see that 2 segments of this cake is shaded. So then in words, this will be 2 tenths. Okay, again, I could do the same process for the next one, but I'm going to quickly give you the answers. So this will be 3 tenths, and in words it'll be 3 tenths. Oops. And then this one is 1 tenth. Add my, and then it would be written as 1 tenth. Whoa, if I could type that properly. There we go. Okay, well done if you've got those correct. Okay, on this page we have part-whole models, and year 4 we're quite familiar with a part-whole model. So we know that 10 tenths is 1 whole. And if you have a look, I've got 1 whole up here that I'm circling with my cursor, and then I've got 3 tenths here, and I need to find out what this one is. Now, why don't you pause the video and give it a go, or shout out the answer, and I'll go through the answer in a moment. Okay, well done if you said it is 7 tenths. Now, the reason for that being 7 tenths is because if you add 3 tenths and 7 tenths, it will make 10 tenths, which equal to 1 whole. Okay, so it's basically saying how many more tenths do I need to make a whole? Okay, I'm going to get rid of this one, and I want you to have a go at this question. I'm just going to move it up slightly so I'm not in the way. Okay, pause the video and have a go and try and find out what this one is. Okay, well done if you said it is 3 tenths. So the way I worked out was I added together 2 tenths, add the 5 tenths, I know equals 7 tenths, and I know add an extra 3 tenths to 7 tenths would equal 1 whole. So massive well done if you got that correct. Okay, so on this page we says, Annie has a cake. She wants to share them equally between 10 people. What fraction of the cake will each person get? Now I'm going to add a few questions to help me out. There is 1 cake. Okay. They are shared equally between 10 people. Well done if you said that before I did. Good job, between 10 people. Now each person has what fraction of a cake? Goodness, I can't get my words out today. Pause the video and have a go at seeing what that fraction is. Okay, welcome back. And well done if you said the fraction is 1/10. So they had 1/10 of the cake. Okay, so I am now going to flip screens. There we go. Got a bigger version of myself, and I've got a counting stick here. So I might shimmy back so you can see it all. There we go. And now we are going to count in tenths. So, ooh, make sure I'm in the camera. Okay. Oh gosh, it's all backwards. Right, count with me. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, or 1 whole. Let's count backwards. Oh gosh, my 1/10 is missing. Right, 10/10, 9/10, 8/10, 7/10, 6/10, 5/10, 4/10, 3/10, 2/10, 1/10. Okay, you might just recognise it's quite simple. It's going at 1 to 10, and we can count 1 to 10. But I'm going to take a few away now. So I'm just going to hide it away from you all. I'm going to take a few off, and we're going to count the missing ones. There we go. And here we go. You ready? I'm going to count from 1/10, and I want you to count the missing ones. So I've got 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, and 1 whole. Okay, I'm now going to point to one, and I want you to shout it out. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to shout it out, and then I will give the answer. So, which one is that one? 2/10. Well done. If you said 2/10. This one. 5/10. Well done. If you said 5/10. This one. 8/10. Well done if you said 8/10. I'm going to just take a couple more away now. There we go. Oh, make sure I'm lined up with the screen. Okay, now count with them. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. I struggled to make sure I was pointing to the right section then. Okay, I'm going to point to one, and you're going to just shout out what the answer is. So, this one. 8/10. Well done if you said 8/10. What would this one in the end be? 1/10. Well done if you said 1/10. What would this one be? 5/10. Well done if you said 5/10. Okay, I'm going to put my stick away now. I think we've mastered that. And we're just going to go into small screen again. And I want you to pause the video now and have a go at filling in these fractions on the screen. Okay, well done everybody. So, got 1/10, 2/10. Well done if you said 3/10. And then well done if you said 5/10. And good job if you said 8/10 on this one. It's just going up in order, which is great. Okay, quickly add that in. And then on this one, you might have recognised it's going backwards, so I'm going to count backwards. 8/10, 6/10. We got 4/10, and then we got 3/10. Whoops. Okay, and then that's that. Smashing. Okay then. So, there is a maths sheet on our home learning page. So have a go at that. I have left up the maths challenges from yesterday on our home learning page. Don't feel you have to do it, no pressure. Give it a go if you want a bit of a challenge today. But I thought I'd just leave them up for you to have a go at. Okay, have a lovely Tuesday, everybody. Bye.